and say, go out on the streets and go out on the highways and hand out tracts and try to convert people. Don't worry about where they're from. They don't need to get in church. All we got to do is convert them. That's not true. He did not say that. He said, make disciples. Teach them. So if God needs a church that's a teaching church, can I ask you one more time? Can God trust this church? Can God trust you? You're going to get involved. You're going to do your part to make this church an Antioch church. You see, everyone's got to get involved. Everybody's got to be involved. And this is a great story. I love this story. The book of Nehemiah. I love this story. It's one of the good verses in the Old Testament. I almost said favorite, but I say that too much. I got a lot of favorite stuff. Nehemiah 4:6. This is Nehemiah talking. So we built the wall, and the entire wall was joined together to half its height, for the people had a mind to work. The people had a mind to work. Nehemiah came there. He became the governor of that province. But who built the wall? Nehemiah? He helped. He said, we built the wall. But he said the people had a mind to work. Now I want to read some verses that we don't very seldom read. I'm going to read 11 through 16. It's a great text. For our adversary said, they will neither know nor see anything till we come into their midst and kill them and cause the work to cease. God says to the devil, have you considered my servants at the Nazarene church in Moravia? For they are upright and blameless. They shun evil and do good. Go down there and see if you can mess with them. And you know what we got to do? We got to work, but we got to get ready for him too. That's our adversary. Our adversary is like a roaring lion roaming to and fro on the face of the earth, seeking some victim to tear apart. So it was when the Jews who dwelt, now listen to this, church. Here's church people. So it was when the Jews who dwelt near them came that they told us 10 times. Would you get sick of that? They said to us 10 times, from wherever you turn, they're going to be on us. This was Jewish people. This was church people. That every time the preacher said, let's grow the church. Let's get some people saved. Some of them said 10 times, I don't know why he keeps wanting to grow the church. I think there's enough people here anyway. I know nobody in here says that. That's why you're back on Sunday night. Let's keep a few empty seats all the time, so if we was to get a rip or something in one, we'll just swap one out. Do y'all mind if I say duh right there? This is church people who bought into the lie of the enemy and came into the church and said the enemy's going to win. We better quit building. We better lay off these walls or they're going to attack. Let's don't go out and win any more people. We might upset the devil. I plan to upset the devil. That's my goal. I want him to come see. And the next time God has a little powwow and he's up there and he's going, ow, ow. God's going to laugh and say, what happened to you, boy? When them people at Moravia hit me with a stick. Praise God. Send him down the road. I'm sorry. That's almost like preaching it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to teach y'all something. I'm like, kick a little right now. And I wish he was there. I'd kick him. Man. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not done reading this. I got to read this story. Here's Nehemiah's answer. Therefore, what's it there for? Because they said they're going to jump on us when we're not looking. The devil's going to get us. Nehemiah says, no, he isn't. We're going to put up a shield. we're going to put up a guard. He won't be able to get us. Therefore, I positioned men behind the lower parts of the wall at the openings. And I set the people according to their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and arose and said to the nobles, to the leaders, to the rest of the people, do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome, and fight for your brethren and your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. And it happened when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that God had brought their plot to nothing, that all of us returned to the wall, everyone to his work. And so it was from that time on that half the servants worked at construction, while the other half held spears, the shields, the bows, and wore armor. And the leaders were behind all the house of Judah. Praise God. Woo! Isn't that a great story? That's right out of the Bible. Let me tell you something tonight. You say, I can't witness. I got to tell you, I'm just making this up because I don't know. I got to think that there was probably 13 or 14-year-old girls, and they had put a armor on them and a shield on them and a helmet on them, and hand them a spear and then put a block and say, stand up on that block so you look taller. Because the enemy's out there far enough, they can't see what they're looking at. I'll be back here building the wall, and you just stand up there and hold that shield. They're not going to know who you are. And there's them little girls. They can't pick up those blocks, but they can just go. Everybody's got to get involved. Everybody can do something. Somebody may really struggle with the idea of inviting somebody to church. You can pray. Same theory. Father, keep that old enemy away. I'm going to tell you, when the kid's praying, the devil's running. When kids are praying, the devil's running. Because kids actually have more faith sometimes. We're too analytical. We start figuring it out. We're the ones who run and say, oh, the plot, 10 times. The plot, 9 more times. The plot. I'm sick of hearing the plot. I got a plot too. My plot's to kick their plot. Who cares what the devil's going to do? Man. You know, it's not so bad if all we want to do is come in here and sing songs and talk, and I'll get up and tell everybody how good they are and how good God is pleased with us, and we'll lock the doors as soon as we all get in so nobody else can come in. Who wants all them visitors? Some of them people was from Ottumwa. What in the world do they think coming over here? Good grief. We'll just lock this thing up. In fact, as soon as we have enough money saved up, we'll put a fence out front, and we won't even let them in. We'll just have in here who we want in here. Protect ourselves. That's not a church. When we do that, we take the sign down. We'll just call it Nazarene. It's not church. It's just something. It's Club of the Nazarene. Country Club of the Nazarene. Social organization of the Nazarene. But it's not church of the Nazarene. All right. If I'm not up here next week, y'all will know why. If you're on the church board, I just read your text. There's no excuse. The job of the church board isn't to hold the purse strings. That's not the job of the church board. Now, obviously, they have to deal with that. Nehemiah said to the nobles and to the leaders, get out on that wall. You can't set up in your houses and tell those people they've got to work and you don't work. Get out on that wall. They said, who are you anyway? He said, I'm the cupbearer of the king, Artaxerxes, and he sent me here, and I got papers. I'm in charge. That's who I am. They said, oh, we were just wondering. Let's go to the wall, guys. Artaxerxes. Man, I hope I pronounced that right. So in case somebody's going to say to me,